Freddy! We've got to run. My powers don't work on them. They just keep coming.
Wait, so did the Fates get Calliope? If those really are the Fates, I'm guessing those are the Fates. Freddy, no. Freddy, no.
No, I won't let you.
Freddy! And we're back, and we're heading off to Medusa's lair. Maybe. There we go. All right. Let's see how they do Medusa.
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
Ugh, there you are. Man, this place is the worst. I think someone peed on me.
Freddy? What are you doing here?
What, you thought I wouldn't notice you skulking off? You didn't even bring any equipment, Grace?
Freddy, please tell me you don't think you're some kind of adventurer.
I'm sorry. Are you not about to head into a monster's lair at great personal peril? What else would you call that?
You're such a dork. I adore you.
Yes, I finally picked a romance
option. To let you
option.
wander in there without backup.
It might be a little...
Who knows? Maybe the stuff I know about Medusa might actually apply. Well, that'd be a switch.
Turn people into stone?
Do you think she actually turns people to stone?
Let's hope not, or this could be a short visit. Or a really, really long one.
I'm serious.
Perseus used a mirror to reflect Medusa's gaze back at her. Oh, maybe you could use your phone.
You think that would work?
Unless you brought a mirror, Grace, it's all you got.
All right, tell me what you know. Hello?
Okay,
there we
all
go.
right. What do you know about Medusa?
Well, you know she was human once, right? And she was cursed?
By
Oh,
Athena.
mentioned it, yeah.
Cursed by Athena. Or so one of the stories goes, anyway.
But doesn't she work for Athena?
Hey, don't look at me. My knowledge of this stuff stops at a few thousand years ago.
Hello. Come on. There we go. Medusa is a monster, though.
She was once human, but she's definitely a monster, right?
Yeah, one of the worst. But, you know, so was the Minotaur.
Asterion said she was scary. I have a feeling she's not like him.
Then I guess you need to be prepared for the possibility that she is as bad as the legends say. Though some of the stories also say that she was wronged by Athena and that what was done to her was an injustice.
And Athena just follows the rules, right?
All right. Let's do this.
Okay, enough talking. Time to do this.
You have a plan for how we're getting inside, I hope?
Maybe. You're here to help?
Always.
Then I have a plan.
Or we're making it up as we go along. Use a distraction, find another entrance, confront the enforcer. Excuse me. Please tell me the distraction is Freddy.
This
Yes.
is where the comic convention is, right? I hope I'm not too late for the signing.
Ma'am, I'm afraid you had the wrong address.
I love Freddy so much.
No. Oh, God. No. No, that can't be right. Do you understand the indignities that I have endured? The weird looks, the body odors. Someone spilled coffee all over my cosplay outfit. No, do not tell me that I got
just
it wrong.
keep him
I spent
busy while I
$50
was
on this
around.
ticket. I demand my personal photo.
Oh my god, I love Freddy. Oh. It went widescreen, which means we might already be in for a song.
What a long day.
Oh.
Hiding in the light. Such a long day. Dreaming of tonight. This sacred bite. Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh. It's the muse.
Oh.
There are sacred bites. And then there's this sacred bite.
I like the eyes poking through the hood.
So right. I'm really gonna hate myself tonight.
You don't want to fight me.
Medusa, listen, stop, I'm warning you.
Oh.
This is something you don't want to do.
Tell me more about me, look at you. A prime sashimi with opinions too.
Get it.
Medusa, listen, I'm warning you.
Yes, keep on warning
There's no
me.
rewinding, it's something you can't undo. Can't undo.
It's kind of the point, lovely. Now look into me. Your body goes freely every time as it tenders, turning gently
Fight the paralysis.
as it renders. What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace?
Okay. Getting very 80s rock.
You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Because this time I find dine.
Oh, fuck you. We're going badass this time.
Look into me. Oh, she's looking away. Hey, look
You flipped that hood.
me.
Then out came the snakes. Oh, you're so good. Finally, some steaks. Oh, the ice thing. What a difference.
Don't you serve Athena?
Makes. You and Athena. Here's the thing I don't get. Are you her spy, some sort of PI, or more like her pet?
Damn.
Am I hurting the mood when I mention her name?
The fact that she'd hate that you're on my plate only makes me more game.
I'm not gonna admit I'm a killer.
Medusa, look into your own eyes.
Alright, very Percy Jackson.
Okay, the phone thing doesn't work on you. Ooh. Nevertheless, let's take a look at you. fan called you hideous. That's just untrue.
Enough.
I'd kill for eyes like that. The body, too.
Don't look at me.
Maybe the hair needs some attending to.
Don't look at me.
Big picture, honey. It's nothing you can't undo. Yeah, you're not a killer. You're much too cute.
You're lost, little girl. No more Hail Marys. We both know the cute girl's you. The killer's me.
Don't know, you don't know.
I do know that you didn't
Kill Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean
Oh.
Athena?
Oh. Hold on. So one thing while I have it paused. Your lost little girl. Persephone said the same thing. So I'm curious. I don't think it's Persephone. I don't think Persephone's involved in this, but it's interesting the cyclical nature of it. Also, it looks like that's the first time I've seen the like your trait actually take some kind of effect in the song. So,
No. Fine grace.
Don't you see, Medusa? You are just her tool. Your queen's a user. You're Athena's fool. Apology could get you free. He's a friend to me.
I like the visuals of this song.
Can get you free.
Kind of the mirror thing going on. Oh, there's Apollo.
Yes.
There's a snake charmer joke in here somewhere.
Maybe what? Did I miss something?
Were you going to flamethrower her ass?
That depends.
God damn it,
Think,
Freddy.
Medusa. Will you help me out?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
Why were you at the Reliquary?
You were at the Reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Caliope to the Reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
That's what Asterion told us, more or less.
But you were there that night.
Yes, yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
So you didn't tell Athena?
You haven't told Athena any of this? You agreed to help, remember?
I told her Calliope was at the Reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
No, I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected.
Why were you following
You followed
Calliope?
Calliope to the Reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
So you were spying on her.
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the Reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
Did you find out why Calliope
Did you ever
was
find
there?
out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the Reliquary, that is when I saw the Muse fleeing. She was frightened, bloodied, dying.
Let me guess, that made you hungry.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
Asterion said you two
Asterion
met.
said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast.
Oh, he's a cinnamon roll.
He killed Hecate's cat by accident, but this still seems hard to believe.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. She did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me.
How can we believe
Why
you?
should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I agreed to help you. I speak the truth.
Right.
Good
and
enough for
not at
me.
all trying to cover your own ass.
You
Yeah, good
presented
point.
an
Not good enough for me.
To taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have.
Uh-huh.
Well, what of Pan? The only reason I knew Caliope was going to the Reliquary is because he informed me.
So much for never lying to me.
What were the odds, honestly?
Let's put a pin in that for the moment, shall we?
I am a monster. It's true, I do not deny it. It's still, I did not kill the muse.
I'm still standing by Pan's a red herring. Like, everything just kind of keeps pointing back to him. But I don't think he did it.
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
I've told you everything I know. We have a bargain. You said my curse might be lifted.
I'll ask Apollo. It's all I can do.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Have you done this before?
Whether I tell Athena depends. Have you done this before?
Don't you think Athena should know what her spy master is like?
No, she cannot. I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth... I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Ha! Told you there was a snake charmer joke in there. I didn't think you guys can see that, but I just got an achievement saying snake charmer. Couple of things to unpack there. Medusa is usually portrayed as hating Athena, not serving her. The fact that she keeps saying Lady Athena, I mean, she was, if I have my mythology right, she was a priestess of Athena who, depending on the translation, depending on the interpretation, myths are handed down, especially the Greek myths, they're handed down. There wasn't much written. It's more stories passed down. Depending on the interpretation, Poseidon had his way with her in Athena's temple, and Athena cursed Medusa. Very unfair. It's how the Greek gods were. But the fact that she serves her makes me think, especially the way that they've kind of altered the mythology quite a bit in this game. I wonder what really happened. Like, why she was cursed. It did say that she was cursed by Athena. So, I'm curious. Getting curiouser and curiouser. So, let's get back.
He knew. Right from the start, Pan knew Calliope was there that night.
Yeah, and who could have foreseen that he was lying to you the entire time? Who, I ask you? A mystery even the Oracle couldn't have penetrated.
We'll admit we're wrong. We'll admit she's right.
Yes, fine. You were right, Freddy. As always.
Ha! See, was that so hard? Anyhow, you probably have a few questions for Mr. Goatman. I'll see you at home.
You were awesome. We're gonna flirt with Freddy from here on out.
Would you really have tried to burn Medusa's face off? With an aerosol can?
Hell yeah! One hint of googly eyes and...
What would I do without you?
Oh, they're so
You never
cute
need
together.
to answer that question, Grace.
Are we just going straight to Olympus? I wanted to go talk to Apollo first.
Oh, if it isn't, the lovely Grace?
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
Well, yes. She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I told you I didn't know what happened to Caliope, and that's the truth. I did not. So I nudged you in the right direction.
So you were what? Just trying to be helpful? You still aren't telling me something.
What possible reason would I have to...
Tell me, right now.
Medusa learned that Caliope was going to the Reliquary because I told her. Now, before you say anything, I had no idea of the fate awaiting our dear muse. And you yourself said Medusa was not responsible. I simply had to know if I'd inadvertently, rather innocently...
Sold her out? She came to you for help, and you gave her whereabouts to the highest bidder.
I am trying to help Grace. In my way.
What do you mean, in my way? What way is that?
The way where I don't take all the blame.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
Five. We're running out of time quick. All right, let's go talk to Apollo.
Grace, back again so soon. Did you find Medusa after all? You've been on my mind ever since you told me about her.
I did, and it was fine. I told you it would be. Okay, it almost wasn't fine, but it worked out. Nobody got hurt.
I see. Perhaps you'd best tell me what happened then. That sounds like quite the harrowing experience. One that could have gone very poorly indeed.
Aw, were you worried? I needed to do it.
I know, but let's focus on the important part of the story.
Which is that Medusa seems to have been cleared. And that brings us back to Pan. Have you confronted him about it?
He admitted to selling out Calliope, but not to killing her. I don't know if I can believe him.
I've never thought of Pan as a liar so much as a manipulator. Still, he would do anything to protect himself. I'll have to give this some thought. I did tell you we could discuss your memories and the Eidolon more in depth after the party. Did you have any questions, or?
So, there is one name that's kind of circling the drain here, and I kind of see where... I think I'm finally seeing where the mystery is kind of leading me. Like, I don't think I wanted to believe it. We'll get there here shortly.
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
Well, we call it passing on, meeting the Eidolon, and it's fine. I've passed on 12 times that I can recall.
So your name isn't really Apollo?
Most recently it was Lucas. Everyone Lucas ever knew is gone, however, so these days I prefer Apollo again.
Lucas? Seems weird to think of you as a Lucas.
It was weird for him, too. Much like yourself, Lucas becoming Apollo was somewhat of a surprise.
Sounds like there's a story there.
Tell me about Lucas.
Tell me about this Lucas. How did he become you? Or is it how you became Apollo?
Apollo had taken to surfing. He left the city without permission and roamed the coast looking for... Well, I'm not sure now. Whatever it was.
Choice waves?
He found it one night when a giant wave took him down.
He found the choice wave.
He was drowning, and I thought, this is finally it. But it wasn't. Lucas saw Apollo struggling and swam out to save him. He pulled us ashore, but it was too late.
Oh, no.
It took a long time to realize what happened. I didn't return to the city until years later. By then, everyone thought I was Apollo's chosen successor.
So no trial for you, huh?
It wasn't easy at first, without memories or anyone to guide me, but no, nothing like that.
What if Lucas hadn't been there?
What would have happened if Lucas hadn't tried to rescue you? What if no one was there when you...
When I died, then the Eidolon of Apollo's line would have ended forever, I think.
You think?
There have been stories about Eidolons that survive for a time and go wandering. That's probably all they are, though. Stories. It's not something we've had much opportunity to study, but normally death without passing on is how an idol really dies. Forever.
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
Well, let's see. It starts as dreams you'll have of places you've never been, people you've never met, fleeting images, feelings. Then they'll appear while you're awake. You'll be eating breakfast and suddenly recall when you last ate something similar in the 17th century. The only difficult part is that eventually it can be hard to differentiate between your life and all those other lives. They blend together.
It does sound confusing.
A little, yeah. And not all the memories will be good ones. It can take time to process.
Like those what happens in the war. Will I still remember my own life?
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Grace, would you say that who you are is at least in part due to your experiences?
I guess so, sure.
Well, you'll have a lot more experiences. They won't feel like someone else's either. It will feel like you did all those things. They will shape who you are now, just as they shaped Caliope and all those who came before her. The good news is, you won't get all the memories. Each time we pass on, the older memories fade.
Wait, how is it good that old memories start to fade?
We're many thousands of years old, Grace. If all of those memories returned with perfect clarity, you'd drown in them.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you've all forgotten so much?
Millennia's worth of memories.
How much do you remember from when you were a small child?
Bits and pieces, I guess. Not much.
It's the same for us. The further I try to think back, the more blurry it becomes. I remember the important bits, but little else. Some of the really old memories. There's so many mortal stories that get mixed up with them, things my previous selves learned as legends. It becomes hard to tell. It takes time, Grace. You'll remember all the lives you've led, but at a pace you can handle, and nothing more.
So, if they've all forgotten older memories, I wonder if any of the existing idols even truly remember Olympus. That's something to think on. Like, wow. Like, he just said himself that, you know, one of your lives, like, take Grace, for example, who's learning about Greek mythology mostly through Freddy's stories. Those will get muddled with what actually happened and kind of creates kind of a Mandela effect of what actually happened versus what is real. Versus the myth. Huh. I'm really liking this take on the Greek myths. Like, it's fascinating. They've done so much world building in such a short amount of time, too. Like, this is episode 5. I think we're like 5-6 hours in.
It's a lot to consider. Assuming I'll even have time to worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Hopefully this eases whatever concerns you might have had. Anything else you'd like to discuss while you're here?
While I really want to go through these dialogue options, I'm going to go through these dialogue options. Who am I saying?
I'd like to know a little more about you. All I know is you live in a dump, you have an oracle, and you...
I'm not sure what to tell you.
Oracle, who was sitting right there.
For so long, I feel like I've been lost in the spaces in between.
Wow, that's a bit dramatic.
Yeah, well, it comes naturally. Music and the arts were once under my purview as a god.
How did that get decided? Did you have a big hat full of pieces of paper and you all picked at random?
No, it was part...
No, we chose them for ourselves. Some, at least. Others were given to us by our priests. We collected godly responsibilities like marbles.
People collect marbles?
Oh, or whatever it is mortals collect these days. Cars, perhaps? The point is, we took our godly duties very seriously.
What were you like as a god?
You must have been very different back when you were a proper god.
I think most of us were. We saw ourselves as, teachers. Mortals were our students, and we guided them to enlightenment. We thought we were special, infallible. I was as magnificent as the sun, and I surrounded myself with those who basked in my radiance.
That doesn't sound like you.
Yeah. I was arrogant. If there was a man or woman I desired, then I had to have them, or there would be consequences.
That sounds like Apollo.
You wouldn't have liked me. I wouldn't have liked me.
Why is Persephone so angry at you?
So what is Persephone's beef with you exactly? Is it just about what Hades did to her?
That's no small thing.
It seems more personal than that.
I mentioned how Persephone's kidnapping almost meant war between Olympus and Hades, yes? Well, while this was all going on, Persephone managed to escape the underworld, and I'm the one she encountered first.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Hades was hot on her heels. And I had a choice. Either do battle with Hades and start the war right then and there, or let him take her back.
You bastard.
Zeus would have had my head if I had sparked a war. Yet all I still think of are Persephone's eyes as Hades smugly took back his prisoner. It's not my finest moment.
Wow. All right. Like, every time I hear more and more backstory on these characters, I have no words. Like, my mind is blown. Like, I don't have a joke for that. I don't have a witty comeback. I don't have words. I don't have an explanation. It's just mind blown as I'm processing this. Like, have you tried therapy?
Apollo, have you ever tried, I don't know, talking to someone about how you feel?
I will never understand this modern fascination with therapy and focusing on one's feelings.
It might help. You never know.
Yes, I've tried it. There was one I used to speak to. Hecate enchanted him never to reveal what I told him. I don't know that unburdening myself to the man helped. He wasn't exactly trained for this sort of problem.
It is kind of hard to relate to a god, sure.
I do appreciate the thought. But I'm afraid muddling through is as good as it gets for us.
Tell me more about Caliope.
Tell me more about Caliope. You and her were good friends, right?
For centuries, we were far more. I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions. We went everywhere together. They had many names, but the three most common were Clio, Talia, and Caliope. The sisters of beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in her previous incarnation.
Oh.
Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Who was Calliope after Kristoff?
Who did Caliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I weren't really speaking. She showed up one day in her new form, the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation. Calliope was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become. She wasn't wrong.
You and Calliope fought often.
From how you describe it, you and Calliope fought a lot.
As often as we saw each other, which became less and less as time wore on. However, she fought with everyone. Calliope hated the idols being kept secret. She and Athena would get into screaming matches over the rules, and it got so I could no longer protect her. She moved out of Olympus years ago and kept to herself. I just assumed she was wrapped up with some new artist when I got the news.
Do you regret not making up with her?
Every day I think about our last conversation and what I should have said or done differently. The problem with immortality is that you think you have all the time in the world.
Weren't there good things about Calliope?
It wasn't only fighting with Calliope, right? Surely there were good things too.
Is that how it sounds? No. She was marvelous. A force to be reckoned with if there ever was one. In the darkest days during the war, it was her songs that gave us hope. She kept Aphrodite alive through sheer determination, I think. Calliope cared. About us, about art, about people she'd only just met. It was her greatest strength as well as her greatest weakness.
I wonder why she picked me. I don't feel like I'm any of those things.
You underestimate yourself, Grace. I see a lot of her in you. She chose well.
Well, flatterer.
What happened to the other muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
Cleo perished centuries before, the victim of an obsessed writer she'd spurned. He kept her in a cage as his personal muse.
Ooh.
Ugh, that's pretty dark.
It was. By the time we found her, she was already... Well, it's enough to say her captor didn't survive her for long. Talia, however, was lost to us on the very last day of the war. We were about to leave on the ship, but she just never showed up.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never found out. I worried for years, even hired people to look, but as far as I can tell, she up and vanished into smoke that day. The war had ground her down. I was upset, but not surprised.
So Cleo is dead. Talia could still be out there somewhere, maybe in a sequel. Just saying.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know. If I think far enough back, I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in 2 over Troy, the day my first son died.
Oh.
But before that, nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall the very first Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
How can you not know where you're from?
Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Interesting. The notion that there might be some other place far away where we're the norm is comforting. Sadly, our memories are filled with blanks. There was a war with beings we called the Titans. A terrible conflict where half our number died, yet do I remember a single battle. The last was after Rome fell. Zeus called us together to relay the news, told us to prepare for battle. And then, in the blink of an eye, I was in the 16th century. What made us forget
centuries.
1,000 years? What happened during that time? We don't know. Athena calls that period the gap.
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I know I was alive. I passed on my eidolon who knows how many times, yet the moment I woke up, as you call it, all memory of that period was gone. It was Athena who found us. I was in France, I think. She came to my farm, and the moment I laid eyes on her, I just knew. It all came back. Did someone do that to us? Did we scatter to the winds for 1,000 years on purpose? It's a mystery.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena claims she awoke on her own and spent the next century locating the other idols. We
Goddess
piece
of
together
wisdom.
very little
It's
of
not.
the gap or of our origins.
It makes a little
We
sense.
simply live with it. Gods we may be, but I'm afraid we don't have all the answers.
You say you had a son.
Earlier you mentioned your son dying. Did I hear that right? Can idols have children?
It was rare, but yes. Back in ancient times, some of them even became idols themselves.
Some of the idols are actually family then.
Not anymore. Most of our children met terrible ends. A gift to the fates, perhaps. I don't know. The ones who weren't idols. It's hard. Watching your children grow old and die. Never understanding why they can't have the same immortality you do. Why you can't grant it to them. My first son is why I'm not permitted in Hades any longer. Let's simply say that most idols have stopped having children, and maybe leave it at that.
Oh, do we really want to get into this? My curiosity says yes.
Tell me more about the war. It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
I don't think we would have left the old world otherwise. It was home.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
I caused it. I foresaw what was going to happen, so I tried to prevent it. I told Ares. I figured if the god of war couldn't stop what was to come, then
Oh no.
And that's why he betrayed everyone.
he decided the idols were a lost cause. Because I told him we were.
It could have happened anyway.
Surely it could have happened anyhow. It was a big war. The biggest.
Perhaps. We'll never know, will we? My time afterwards was spent helping the survivors, keeping us on the move. If Hephaestus hadn't intervened, we would have all been captured.
And he's...
Oh, gone now, we assume, like so many others. We are nothing more than refugees from a war long over, Grace.
Was it hard to come to the new
Was it hard for
world?
the idols to come to the new world? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
I don't think it was the place so much as the condition we were in. Shell-shocked, one might say. Our entire world had been turned upside down. Suddenly, we had rules. Secrecy was paramount, and no one was permitted to leave the city. Some, like my sister Artemis,
It's the first
couldn't
time
abide it.
first time Artemis has been
Good
mentioned.
name.
Goddess of the hunt. And a wild thing herself. She left, I think. Faded away without a word. As many did in the early days here. Later, Athena became even more strict. For our own good, of course, but it hasn't been easy. This city has never felt like home, so much as a temporary shelter.
All right. That's all for now.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Of course. I look forward to it.
That was a lot of information all at once. Wow. Like, it's still kind of ambiguous as to, A, where we are, because it's not New York. They don't say what city this is. B, it's kind of ambiguous what the war is. Like, piecing things together, it sounds kind of World War II-ish. But it also sounds like it was earlier. So, like, Alright. Grace's apartment. Let's go talk to Freddy. Oh, Hermes is here.
Hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my name. Where's Freddy?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
Were you looking for me?
Waited. Were you looking for me?
All over, yeah. Athena sent me to find you, but it wasn't easy. Yeah, you must have been busy.
Yeah, because I stand trial soon.
Right. Right, that makes sense. Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
Do I have a
Do I
choice?
choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena?
Fair.
Enter the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
Athena never leaves Olympus?
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the Reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
But she knows what Wi-Fi is.
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, you know, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any two doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
You knew the old Hermes?
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Wait, isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
Do you like running
You say
errands?
It's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
On that note, let's go.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddy, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, Hermes.
Thanks, I guess.
Oh. Oh. We can change our trait. That's interesting. I'm still going to go with clever. I'm not going to change. But it's interesting that we get to Oh. Oh. Do I get a second trait? Oh. Because I can't choose clever. We've been going kind of kick-ass along with clever. We haven't really done charming much.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the Reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
You know what happened there.
But you know what happened there. That's where Caliope was attacked.
Yet it's not where she died, Grace, is it?
So, because she made it all the way to my apartment, we shouldn't care why she was bleeding to death along the way.
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
You don't care about us. You don't care at all.
You care. About me? That's a laugh. You sit up here in your tower, and whatever humanity you might have once had, whatever wisdom, it's eroded away to nothing. The only thing you care about is making sure it doesn't all shatter. Not on your watch.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on.
Why tell me this?
I've heard most of that, sure. What does it have to do with me?
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean, our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
I could have helped you.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Oh, I have questions. Let's discuss
Well, let's
Medusa.
Talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
Can you uncurse
Is
her?
it true you can't remove her curse? Or is she just too useful?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
I am well aware, Grace. What is it that you would have me do exactly?
Stop using her.
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know. Now, if there isn't anything else...
Tell me about
What do you know
Pan.
of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Is Pan a killer?
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
I'm missing something.
Sort of. But I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Caliope was doing at the Reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to
thought.
share? I think not.
Who can access the reliquary?
Who has access to the Reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Does it matter? You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose
Can I have a cookie?
you'll tell me who gave you that key.
I ain't no snitch. Same way Calliope got it.
The same person gave it to me, who gave it to Caliope.
And who gave it to Caliope, then? I see.
You went to the reliquary.
Speaking of the Reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew.
I knew her
Perhaps the
for
incidents
5
are connected,
seconds.
Perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
I'll go.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Don't kill us.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Don't mind if I do. I'm not taking your cookie. Do I want one? Smell good. Chocolate chip.
I can't say I'm surprised. Athena has always struggled in a crisis.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it.
Remember, she was a warrior. When pressed, she's always turned to that aspect, sought to maintain absolute control. It'd be hypocritical to say it's wrong of her. She's battled for me as much as for anyone.
Are the idols really
Do you think
dying?
she's telling the truth? About the idols dying out?
Yes, though I find it odd she chose to tell you.
Maybe Athena thought, who'd believe Grace if she blabbed about it anyway?
Sadly, while I'd prefer to stay in her good graces, I doubt that will be possible.
Uh-oh. What now?
You may not like this, but you need to go back to the Reliquary.
I bet I know why.
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Caliope was doing there in the first place.
As usual, you're way ahead of me.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
Remember how I told you it'd be years before you got Calliope's memories back? Well, that's true, but not entirely.
Okay.
Those memories are
Excuse me.
inside you. You go somewhere important to Calliope or touch something special to her, you will get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the Reliquary so she can have deja vu?
Whatever happened to Calliope there, it ended her life. All we need to do is uncover those memories.
How do we
Last
get
time
into the
Freddie and I were
reliquary?
there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
Okay. Do you want to ask Athena for permission?
It just seems like a radical step. For you.
A week ago, I would have said that breaking into the reliquary couldn't be done. A week ago, I couldn't have imagined being here. My stance on a lot of things has changed. If you have another idea, however, I'm happy to go along with it.
The reliquary has
What about
alarms.
the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then the alarms bring Asterion and Hecate, and all three of us do a great deal of apologizing.
Let's just hope that's all those alarms do.
You sure this'll work?
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
Am I sure? No. No, I'm not.
Oh, that's comforting.
Yeah.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, well, do you have a way we could look into those things without encountering even more lies?
True.
Deja vu it is.
What would I be looking for?
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of what happened to Calliope, even a flash. Anything that gives us something to work with.
And if that doesn't happen?
Make it happen, Grace. As if your life depends on it.
Which it
I
does.
can really see why the idols call you the cheery one.
I'm sorry, but why is she here again?
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
I think that's kind of the point, Grace.
There isn't much time left, and I'm out of ideas that won't take more time than we have.
Well, there's always running, right? Grace leaves the city, goes on a world tour, becomes rich and famous. It's just me. Okay then.
Right then. Back to the reliquary,
Reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I
excuse
can't
me.
go into the reliquary with you. Not without tipping off Hecate. But I won't be far. If anything goes wrong, I will come running. But even so, Grace, please be careful.
We're getting into the climax now. Too late for that.
We're a little beyond careful, aren't we?
Come on, the time for adventure is now.
Be safe.
I love Freddy so
Both of
much. Into the reliquary we go. Freddy distracts Hecate. Be honest with Hecate. Okay, so here's the thing, right? We know there's a back way that Asterion keeps using to come find us. We also know we are currently in Hecate's good graces. We don't want to distract Hecate. We don't want to risk that relationship. I'm honestly thinking we just walk in and be honest with Hecate and say, hey, I need to know what's going on with Caliope. I need to know why she was here. Or Hecate gets mad at us because we came back. Either way, any way I slice it, I don't think Hecate is going to be happy with us. So we're going to sneak in.
Wait, are you sure this is right? Was that the right door?
You're asking me like I'm supposed to know?
It just feels like we're back outside again. Maybe that was some kind of portal or...
Oh,
Maybe we're right where we're
my
supposed
God.
to be.
It's incredible.
This place, it's amazing. Is this all inside the tower? How can that be?
Says the last of the muses standing in the demi-plane, probably created by the goddess of witchcraft.
How do we avoid getting lost? It's like a labyrinth.
Ah.
It is a labyrinth, but I've never had any trouble finding my way around.
God damn it, Asterion.
Hey, easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, no need to freak out. I'm a guardian, sure, but I'm not a monster. But, yeah, you know you're not supposed to be in here, right?
You owe us a favor. No, I can't lie to him. He's such a cinnamon roll. I can't... Oh, I can't be mean to him either. I should have chosen empath. I should have chosen charming. You owe us a favor.
I seem to recall that we did you a huge favor the last time we were here.
Yeah, for Pan, but I already...
Yeah, we hooked you up with Hecate, and she is way out of your league, dude.
I know, but...
So you couldn't make an exception just this one little time? Hecate doesn't need to know.
I need to bring you back to Kate. I'm so sorry.
Run!
Oh no. Hey! Come back! Oi, come back!
I feel so bad. He's so sweet.
I don't hear anything. I think I'm all right. I hope Freddy's okay. She better be. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start? Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just... focus.
Oh, that worked. Didn't think that was gonna work, but that worked.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Hold on. So, we have the golden apple. Oh crap. Hold on. Of course, Poseidon's trident. Shoot. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be kicking myself. I feel like I'm gonna be kicking myself. Excuse me. I'm going to be kicking myself when I find out, like, once I get a closer look at all of these. Oh, man. Start with the ones that I know. So this is the apple from... Oh, God. I want to say the Garden of Eden, but that's not right. That's Christian. That's Christian. I don't remember where it's from, but it was one of Heracles' tasks to get it. So let's start there.
Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me? What am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am.
Yeah. Poseidon's trident.
Is this an armory, too?
Egg. Egg with a snake.
I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it?
Scroll.
I don't even know what language that is.
Those look like wings. Are those Daedalus's blueprints? Maybe? I'm staying away from the instrument because I think that's where we would go. Olive branch.
They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing.
The mask.
What did Freddy say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right?
The statue?
Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere?
Mirror. Oh.
This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she... Uh-oh.
Oh, it's the Fates. We can talk about this.
I don't suppose there's any chance you'll put those knives away.
Oh, those are the Fates. Those are definitely the Fates.
Okay, then.
That ain't working.
What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Hi, Freddy.
Freddy! We've got to run. My powers don't work on them. They just keep coming.
Wait, so did the Fates get Calliope? If those really are the Fates, I'm guessing those are the Fates. Freddy, no. Freddy, no.
No, I won't let you.
Freddy!
Freddy!
No.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Freddy.
Oh no. Oh, Grace.
You summoned the Furies.
Oh, those were the Furies.
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was no defense or spell of the Reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
I'm not leaving Freddy. Not like this. All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
We have to leave. We have to leave now.
Not Freddy. I don't even know what to say. She died defending us. And we're into Act 3. What is the trend of
Grace,
major characters dying at the end of Act 2?
I know what Freddy meant to you.
We left her there.
We left her there. I can't believe we left her there.
We couldn't have taken her with us. Hecate will... She'll take care of her.
I should be taking care of her.
Oh, excuse me.
Is that what happened to Caliope? Was she attacked by the Furies as you were?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
The Furies. Sent by the same person, I imagine.
Who can command the Fury?
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
Even in our prime, none of the idols had the Furies at our beck and call. Perhaps Zeus, but he's long gone. I honestly didn't know the Furies still existed.
Clearly someone can do it.
I mean, unless they weren't sent. Unless they were responding to something else, something you'd done unwittingly. I'm sorry, I'm afraid your guess is as good as mine.
Why did the Furies stop?
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They're enforcers of the old laws. I imagine they decided the debt was paid, whatever it was, when blood was spilled. The blood didn't have to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
Then they would have come after you. And they wouldn't have stopped until they were through. Not ever.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
They're not. Hecate called them embodiments of retribution, and I suppose that's the best description. They go back to, well, the time before my memory. I was once told they were created to enforce the most ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Decrees one couldn't break, written in blood. Laws even idols abided by in the days of old Olympus. But those surely died with Zeus. Even if they hadn't, you can't have broken any. They're not easy to overlook.
What was Calliope trying to do? If that mirror is the way to talk to the fates, there was a question she had that she needed an answer to, and only the fates could answer it.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
Well, apparently she wanted to speak to the fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The fates are primordial beings, like the Furies. They're said to control destiny. Perhaps Calliope wished to know her destiny. Or change it. I'm not sure.
Are the fates that powerful?
Can these fates really control the future?
They're tied into fate, as I am. Perhaps they're even where my power stems from, or how Hecate's books are written.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, apparently.
Could it have been the fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
I doubt it. If they didn't want to answer the mirror, I'm certain they simply wouldn't.
If only we knew more.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the fates.
Why not ask them? You too have caused quite the stir. Hecate is beside herself, and Athena is out of her mind. Well done.
How long have you been listening?
Long enough to know that you need another way to speak to the fates, unless you're planning on trying the Reliquary again.
No, not a chance. We'll find the truth on our own, Persephone.
If you sent Grace to wander about looking for Calliope's memories, you're already out of options.
Why are you here?
Why are you here, Persephone? You made it clear you didn't want to help me.
Oh, she doesn't. What she wants is to help herself.
God damn it,
Did
Apollo.
I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Did you plan this all
Is
along?
Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along, Persephone?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the Reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
You've waited for this opportunity for over a century.
Waited, yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
But you came here to help, right?
And I came here to help.
We can overthrow Hades? Hades is dead.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
So if we go to Hades and find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into exactly?
A great deal.
It's It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
How does one find this
How do
throne?
we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the Reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. So your promise to help Grace was an empty one? Step up, for once, and do what she needs you to do. Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
Is there really no other way to talk to these Fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the Reliquary?
No. No. Hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the Fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
Okay. No need to keep selling me on it. I'm in.
You are?
Yeah. I need to punch something really hard. Or overthrow hell. I'm good with either of those things.
Did you see that, Apollo? You see, that is what a backbone looks like.
Damn.
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies. According to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Isn't Hades empty?
Wait, what? You said Hades was empty.
Your friend may, in fact, be the first new soul to enter its halls in many years.
And thus could leave it. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
Let's find Hermes. Get this over with.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace, and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
Oh, this is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
It's to save Freddy. You won't be in trouble. It's the last piece of the puzzle. Be honest with them. Be honest with them. It's the last piece of the puzzle.
It's the only way to find out why Caliope was trying to
I
contact
can't speak
the
English
Fates.
today.
The Fates?
There's something going on, Hermes. I'm at the edge of it. But without the Fates, I'll never know the truth.
And that means going to Hades, with or without Athena's permission.
Okay.
Get in the
Signal
trunk?
when you need to come back.
You sure?
That was it?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go.
All right. I'm going to keep playing otherwise. I think this is a good place to stop it. To stop the episode. Since we're going into Hades, I think that's a good start for a new episode. We've already gone late on this one. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm loving this game. This game is phenomenal. I'm legitimately cried over Freddy. But we're gonna get her back. We're gonna get her back. That's the important thing. I don't even care about proving myself in the trial now, as long as we get Freddy back. That's it. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys. Hello, everyone. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. If you like this video, leave us a like, a comment, subscribe, say hi in the comments, start a conversation. I'll be happy to drop my 2 cents. Thank you guys so much for watching. We've dropped new videos Monday through Saturday every week. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.